federal detention center in LA yesterday, following immigration raids that led to dozens of arrests across the city. Early in the face-off, some protesters hurled chunks of broken concrete toward officers. Police in riot gear then deployed tear gas and flashbangs to disperse the crowd. Police issued a citywide tactical alert just hours after declaring the protests unlawful assemblies. At least 44 people were detained in the raids. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass condemned the raids and said they were tactics to sow terror in the community. She said her office is coordinating with immigrant rights organizations, adding, quote, "We will not stand for this." White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller responded on X saying, quote, "You have no say in this at all. Federal law is supreme and federal law will be enforced." The feud between President Trump and Elon Musk continues to brew. The president today told NBC that the tech billionaire will face very serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates. And speaking to reporters last night, Trump said he has no plans to talk to Musk.
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on somebody that I'm not thinking about Elon. I just wish him well.
Officers setting cars on fire and even throwing Molotov cocktails. President Trump called in the National Guard to help maintain the peace. The president posting on social media, "If Governor Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, then the federal government will step in and solve the problem. Riots and looters the way it should be solved." And that's exactly what happened. The White House put out a statement saying, in part, "In recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal law enforcement agents carrying out basic deportation operations in Los Angeles, California. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal criminals into the United States. The Trump administration has a zero-tolerance policy for criminal behavior and violence, especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice." Dr. Phil was actually on the ground in LA while some of these ICE raids were taking place. Dr. Phil is embedded with ICE multiple times, working alongside border czar Tom Homan to get a firsthand look at the targeted operations that are being carried out by these agents and to see what kinds of people are being taken into custody. Dr. Phil sat down with Tom Homan to discuss one of the businesses at the center of one raid and how the protesters aren't necessarily getting the full story about who is being targeted.
This warehouse and retail outlet that you served warrants on, the belief is, and the evidence suggests, that this is a cartel-related business here in the United States, that this money, the $80 million that they are suspected of undervaluing, the double-digit millions in tariffs that they are suspected and will be charged with violations on, income tax evasion. You believe that all of that is benefiting an illegal cartel, a cartel in Mexico or Colombia. Do you know which cartel?
No, it's a larger investigation, and this company is one of many that we're searching and gathering evidence on the fact that much of the money in this industry is laundered to Colombia and Mexico in support of cartel activities. We also got tax evasion, and we also got customs fraud. And ICE, big part of ICE responsibilities are customs laws, customs enforcement. So this is one business out of many we're looking at. So it's a part of a bigger investigation. And as we gather more evidence, then we'll decide what we want to criminally prosecute, specifically for.
Now, yesterday, in front of the media, pulls up in front of this retail organization where a warrant was being served. There are megaphones, and they're broadcasting out as loud as possible, relentlessly, and they're coaching those that are arrested or might be arrested, telling them what to do, what to not do, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all legal. You have no problem with that, right?
I have no problem with it. If they want to shout, here's your Constitution, they're going to be read the rights anyways, but if they want to shout their rights and to not speak and get a lawyer, I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, they have that right.
But then they started, I saw demonstrators, we have it on video, as does several of the media outlets here in LA, started attacking vehicles, transport vehicles, vehicles with agents in them, pounding on the windows, throwing bicycles, anything they could find against the cars, impeding their exit and attacking the vehicles. That's not free speech.
No, that's a crime. They've damaged a lot of government property. They slashed tires of the agents who were serving the warrants. This is all government property. Again, you got the right to protest. You got the right, your First Amendment rights, but you don't have the right to destroy government property. These men and women are enforcing the law. They're there with a warrant signed by a judge in the criminal investigation. That is a serious criminal investigation. So yeah, they crossed the line. They crossed the line yesterday.
Okay, did anybody contact anyone that you know of from the demonstrators, from the protesters, that wanted any actual information about what was going on?
No, they don't want the truth. They don't want to know. They do not want immigration laws enforced. It's a sanctuary city, and the representatives of these NGOs and these open borders groups yesterday, if you look at all their statements, not one mention of criminals, not one mention of forced labor, not one mention of tax evasion or customs fraud or money laundering or cartel support. It was all about they don't want immigration laws enforced against anybody. And I really think if they understood and asked those questions or understood why exactly we're there and doing what we're doing, I think you have less people out there protesting. Okay, this isn't just immigration enforcement. This is part of a bigger criminal syndicate that ICE is trying to investigate and take down. But those questions aren't asked. It's all about immigration enforcement. They don't want to know the facts because the facts is going to decrease the support they have in these demonstrations and these riots. Last night, after the more and more of these NGOs and open border advocates started yelling and screaming and doing demonstrations, now we got hundreds of people in the federal building breaching a federal building. We had people we arrested in custody in that federal building. We got officers, got non-enforcement officers there, personnel that were in extreme danger, and it was just it really got out of hand, and it's just going to continue. This is what we're dealing with as we're driving here today. New York City, hundreds of protesters at the Federal Plaza. Luckily NYPD is responding, helping our officers, but this is going across. This is a message coming from the open border advocates. Take it on, fight ICE. We see it every day. You've seen the post. ICE are Nazis. ICE are racist. So these Soros-funded groups, these open border advocates, are well positioned, and through social media, they can get a lot of people out there to protest what we do. And we don't mind the protest. I'm going to say it again. We don't mind the protest. You got a right to protest, but they're putting our officers in danger. And last night, not only put our officers in danger, they put our detainees, people we arrested yesterday, they were put in danger. And other employees of that facility were put in danger.
We're continuing to monitor the protests in Los Angeles, and we'll have more updates throughout the day, along with Dr. Phil's interview with Tom Homan. But for now, I'm Lonnie Coombs. Please keep an eye on our social media channels for updates in real time.